The biggest complaint I've heard from Amazon sellers over the years is that they've picked the wrong products and that's why they failed. Now, when I ask them what they mean by wrong product, they can't really give me a clear answer about why it was wrong though. The go-to response is usually that the product niche was too competitive or too saturated. But what if I told you that Amazon isn't oversaturated? Sure, it can be competitive. There are millions of products and sellers out there after all. But if you know what you're doing and you analyze the product properly up front, you'll not be caught off guard by the niche's competitiveness. In this video, I'm going to show you how to analyze any product niche and determine whether or not you have enough money in your budget to launch your product or not. This will save you the time, effort, and loss of investment for products that are too competitive for your budget. Because the truth is, with enough money, you can be successful on Amazon with any product. However, most of us don't want to spend $100,000 to turn a profit on a product. As a bonus for watching this whole video, I'm going to give you direct access to the spreadsheet I'll be demoing that will allow you to determine the feasibility of whether or not you'll be able to afford launching any product or if it's too expensive for your budget. This means you'll have the ability to get much more clarity around the actual cost of the products you're looking to sell before you ever even order them. You'll benefit from this as you'll no longer choose products that are way too competitive for your budget, so you won't lose all your money before it makes you a profit. Of course, I can't guarantee that you'll make any money with any product on Amazon, but I can get you to understand what your cost might look like if you're selling a reasonable amount of units at each phase of the product launch. So if you're ready to finally see how to determine whether you can afford to launch a product or not, then watch this full video and get your absolutely free download at the end. Also, be sure to follow this channel with a subscribe, like the video, and comment any questions you have if you're interested in learning more tips and strategies for Amazon FBA. All right, so here I am on Amazon, and the first thing you have to do when you're trying to analyze your niche for your product is essentially figure out what your main keyword is. If you do know what your main keyword is, this is not going to be too big of a problem for you. However, if you don't know what your main keyword is, you need to figure that out. So I'm going to go to Amazon. I'm going to type in whatever product I want into the search bar. For this example, I'm going to use Hammock, and then I'm going to hit search. When I get to page 1 of that search result, I'm going to use a tool called AMZ Scout, and then I'm also going to use what I call my Launchalyzer spreadsheet, which is right here. And I'm going to use that to determine the profitability, the feasibility of that product. So what I do is essentially I just click on this button here, and it's going to bring up a table. That table is going to essentially populate out here in just a minute. And once it does, I'm going to get a lot of information about this page. It's going to tell me how many sales, how many, revenue, how much revenue, price, everything. There's just going to be a lot of information that's filled out. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to download this as a CSV file right here and export that data. And then I'm going to go ahead and open that file as well. Now I'm going to go over to my Launchalyzer spreadsheet, which is going to be filled out using an example, which is going to be a hammock. So I'll put in Hammock here. And I'm going to start filling out this sheet based on my budget. Now, I don't know if my budget is going to be $10,000 for the next 3 months, but let's just say it is. That seems like a pretty good number to go with. So I'm going to put in $10,000 for my 3-month budget. You can put whatever you think in there. $5,000, $8,000, $30,000, whatever you want. It's probably not going to be $100,000 though. So now what I want to do is I want to get that data from AMZ Scout. And what I do is I look at the top competitor daily units sold. Now, again, this is in the middle of summer. This is in June. So these are going to be quite, these hammocks are going to be selling quite well because it's in the middle of summer. Now, what I also want to do is I want to make sure that the products on this page are not other products. So for example, are these all hammocks? They look like they are. I'm not really sure. Yep. So those are all hammocks, 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 hammocks. And as you can see, everything looks pretty much like a hammock. Now, if I go back over here to my CSV file, I want to make sure that this is kind of in order. So you can see that these first 3, that was that ad up top. So I'm just going to kind of delete these because they're not naturally at the top of that page. So it will skew my data if they're there. So I'm going to remove those because I know that they're an ad. Now you can see it coming up here again. That's fine. But what I want to do is I want to find the average daily sales of all of these products. So where is that? You can see here the estimated sales. It says estimated number of items sold in a month, but we want to do it by day. So all we got to do is take these numbers and divide it by 30. So that number, that 13,597 right there, that I'm going to pull from my actual CSV download, is actually my top competitor. Now I just divide that by 30. So pull up a calculator and then 13,597 divided by 30. That's about 453 units a day. Now this is a summer seasonal product, but let's put that number in there. So 453. And then let's get the average top 15 daily units sold. So that is going to also be through this spreadsheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight 15 counts of this. So you can see there it says 15 count. It's going to have an average. Now that number is monthly units sold. So 3342.4. And I know it's probably small on your screen, but that's what that number is. I'm going to divide that by 30 so that way I get the daily units sold. So 3342.4 divided by 30 equals 111. So that's what I'm going to put here. Now, what does this tell you right now? This tells you this is how competitive page 1 is for this product. What do I mean by page 1? In reality, I'm talking about the top 15 of any product niche. Page 1 is essentially 48 organic spots deep, but you really want to be in the top half of that or the top third of that so that way you can get profitable sales. So that's why you kind of want to be and know how competitive your top 15 is so that way you can sell a product profitably. If you're not in the top 15, you might be spending more on ads than you need to, and you're not really getting as many organic sales as you should. So now what I'm going to do is I'm also going to look at my top competitor price. That price of that product here is $14.99. So $14.99 is the price of my main competitor. Now I got to go look on Alibaba for estimated cost of goods. There's many different ways that you can go about this. There's different qualities, all that stuff. But for the most part, you can see here that, a hammock might cost between $2.50 to $5, $176 it says. And we obviously want to look at these kind of sport looking ones. So let's say they're about $2.50. Now, estimated freight costs, maybe we say it's about 80 cents. And that can be achieved if you're using partner carrier services and also shipping directly to AWD. That saves you a lot of money. You might even get better than 80 cents per unit. So we'll just put that for now. And then we got to look up the pick and pack fee. Obviously, you can see there that the Amazon 15% commission was already kind of calculated based on 15% of that. In order to figure out the pick and pack fee, though, you actually need to copy the ASIN. So you need to open that listing, go up to the top, and where it says this B0B or whatever that number is, you copy that, you highlight it and copy it. And then you go and type in FBA fee calculator into Google. And then you're going to open it up, continue as guest, or sign in. You're going to paste that into the product search bar there. And then down here, right here, it's going to tell you the fulfillment cost, $542. So you're going to put that into the pick and pack fee, $542. Now you can see some things here. First of all, it's going to tell you how many dollars in profit you are going to get per unit sold. It's also going to tell you how much profit margin you're going to get. Then it's going to give you your estimated 30 days revenue and your estimated profit before ads. Then it's going to work out how many dollars in ad spend you'll have if you have a 20% tacos, meaning 20% of your revenue is spent on ads. Then it will tell you how much profit per month you will have on that product at that price and with those ads. And then it's going to tell you how much it costs to launch that product in the first 3 months. And then it's going to tell you whether or not you can actually afford to launch that product. If not, then it's going to tell you how much you actually need in order to launch that product. So in this case, if you have a $10,000 budget, you're going to need almost $66,000 more to launch this product. So if you realize that it's going to cost you about $76,000, would you launch that product? Probably not. So this sheet will help you determine whether or not you should even order the product in the first place. Now, obviously, I can't go over every granular detail in one video. So if you have any other questions, make sure to post them in the comments below. And remember that free bonus I told you about at the beginning of this video? Well, I want you to grab this Launchalyzer spreadsheet for yourself. Just click the link below this video so you can get your free copy in order to start doing product research the right way. With this tool, you should be able to find, analyze, and develop products that will give you a much better success rate on Amazon FBA than you would have without it. Also, make sure to check out the rest of the videos on this channel to learn more about the ins and outs on Amazon FBA. Until next time, watch your metrics, take smart actions, and keep growing your business.